Good morning. Okay, I have had a really fired up morning. Okay, so like wildly fired up morning. So I was talking to a friend of mine. Do you guys have one of those friends in your life that when they're talking, I'm like, I want that. Like, I want to be like that. You really inspire me. I want that result in my life. Any of you guys, come on, don't leave me hanging, please. Right? Who are you guys? You got who is that person? Put the person's name in. Put the person's name in. Who's that person in your life? Elizabeth, Catherine, right? Uh, who's that person in your life? I need better friends, Miranda says. Oh, shoot. So good. Come on, you guys. Aw, you put my name. That's so awesome. Jamie is her name. Elizabeth says she needs better friends too. Okay, so I was talking to my friend Rex Crane this morning, and we were talking, and he's. I just want to share this with you because will you guys give me a little space to share this with you, and I'll get into hot sitting. Suzanne, please check your text messages. I'll get into respond back to me if you don't mind. I'll get into what we're working on today, but I wanted to share this with you. So I write notes when I talk to my friend Rex Crane. I'm like writing all these notes, right? And he's talking to me about a talk he did just the other day. And does anybody know who Rex Crane is? Put Rex in the comment section if you do. Anybody know who Rex is? Put Rex in the comment section if you do. So good. So there's a few of you guys who know who he is. So Rex is telling me about how he just spoke in an auditorium. And this also leads to the conversation of being bold enough to talk about the things that you talk about with your friends. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like there's certain things like, so I used to never say the word God, I'd say the word universe because I didn't feel comfortable saying the word God because I thought I would turn people off. Anybody else feel that way, right? It's like, now I say God, but there's a process to becoming you. There was a process to becoming me. And I think there's still like the next process and the next iteration, the next level of ourself. I feel like the older I get, the more I start going, let that stuff go. I don't really care about that anymore. And you just kind of get wiser. So Rex was sharing with me how he was talking in this auditorium, and there was like all these people that either couldn't walk or they had like was it called scolios of the spine? What is that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where your spine's just like like bad. Actually, I just had an aha moment. There's somebody I know who I love just told me her son got diagnosed with that. That's wild. That just connected for me. So I need to connect them. Anyway, so there was all these people, and he said it was wild because it was like there was a whole aisle full of people that couldn't walk, that were like on the ground. And he was saying to me, he was saying that there was this one boy that he was speaking in the auditorium. I'm kind of butchering this story, but because I just was listening to it. But it was like, and honestly, even when I'm saying it's like, have you ever felt like you don't want to get something wrong? Like I don't want to get this story wrong. Do you know what I mean? So this is what it looks like when you're not going all in, because either you're afraid of getting something wrong, or you're afraid of Suzanne. There was supposed to be two people, or you're afraid of, you know, either afraid of getting something wrong, or you're afraid that maybe you'll hurt somebody's feelings, and so you just edit what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try not to edit what I'm saying because I notice I'm doing it. So I get out with Rex. He's like, there's these people, they can't walk. They're like, it's wild how many of them are. And he goes, and I'm speaking, and he was sharing with me how, like some things that he feels God's doing in my life, right? And he said, and so he's telling me this story and talking to me at the same time. Have you guys ever felt like that? Somebody speaking on stage, you're like, that's actually my message right there. Like something flips in your soul. It is because it is your message, right? So he's teaching me something. He's talking to me about something that he got a whole word of knowledge for yesterday morning. And then he kind of skipped to this auditorium that he's speaking at with all these people who can't walk. And as he's speaking, he starts to get words of knowledge. Do you guys know what words of knowledge is? Do any of you guys know what words of knowledge is? Any of you guys, yes, no, maybe, yes, no. Okay, so Nicole doesn't. So just put yes or no if you know what words of knowledge is. Words of knowledge is when you know something about somebody that it's not an intuition, it's not a hunch, it's like specific. Like Nicole, or Elizabeth, it would be like me looking at you knowing that you had a son that passed away at like 8 years old or 3 years old. Like it's like that specific. Like it's a word of knowledge that you just, there's no other way to describe it, but it's a way that God shows himself that builds faith, right? Like, because and so he was getting these words of knowledge where he was getting people's names, and he was sharing with me this wild name that I can't even repronounce, that he could hear in an echo in his head, and he said it, and he knew that there were 3 generations of alcoholism being broken right then, right? And of course, that was exactly what was happening. Well, all of these people started getting up. And then all of these men, like full-blown men, because one of the conferences he just spoke at as a men's conference, all got laid out on the ground. Like they got hit by something in the spirit, and they all got laid out. Not because he casted something or touched them, like they just, like there was like a through the room. I don't know about you, but that is so fascinating to me. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like that to me, like I would give up every dollar I have to get closer to the Lord. Do you know what I mean? And the scripture says, like, it's really hard for somebody with money to get into heaven. And then I know when I say that, there's people like, I hate this shit. Like, why people talk like this? But it's like, if you think about it, go talk to somebody who's made a lot. It's very hard for them to let it go. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and by the way, the scriptures talk about money, depending if you talk to Dave Ramsey, I've not checked this. He says it's 4,000. I have verified over 2,000 different moments that the scriptures talk about money. Like, it is not true that you are not supposed to have it. So you're not supposed to be an artist and be starving. Like, you're not supposed to be spiritual and be totally effed up around money. You're not supposed to choose your babies over your career unless that is your choice, right? Because you have full, like, but it's not because you have to. There is a way. Somebody has figured out how to be a great parent and be an empire builder. In fact, I would say being an empire builder or someone who's made a lot of money, it's actually even easier to be a parent, because guess what you don't do? You don't do laundry. You don't wash your car. Like, we're here in Puerto Rico, and our team stayed in California when we came here this time. So we found out that 10 days before we came here. I share that with you because I just put gas in the car. I haven't put gas in the car for I don't even know how long, because it's not on my goals. It's not my KPI. And you might judge me for that, but I'm proud of myself that I've gotten here. Do you know what I mean? That it's like, if I have to go put gas in the car, have you guys ever been running somewhere? You're like, shoot, I have no gas in the car, and now you're late. Like, I don't want any of that, right? Like, I plan stuff. I'm not checking, like, I'm not looking at those things. I'm not watching those things. So I share this with you because I really believe that money needs a purpose. And I'm gonna hot seat some people, and I'm gonna hot seat some of the hardest money problems that you might be having. It'll feel hard to you. You guys in the VIP experience on Shanda On Demand. If you, by the way, want to jump into the VIP experience, there's a group of people right now that are in a Zoom room with me as I'm broadcasting, and I'm gonna hot seat some of them. So if you guys want to be hot seat, raise your hand right now so I know. But if you want to be a part of the Shanda On Demand, I don't know the URL. Suzanne, do you? What is the URL? Do you know it? Just kind of come off mute for a second and tell me. Oh, I just muted you again.
Join me.
Two strong women trying to do the same job. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, go.
Join me in VIP.com. I'll drop it for you.
Okay, join me. Well, you don't have to drop it in here. But join me in VIP.com. Join me in VIP.com. And Fadi should be putting that up right now. Join me in VIP.com, right? And I will leave it up for a couple minutes, and then Fadi will take it down. If you want to jump into VIP on the Zoom with us, it's an investment of $30 whole. But when I get off Shanda On Demand, I jump over to them. So we'll be finishing this week and doing next week on Shanda On Demand. Is the best investment you could ever give your business. Am I right? Am I right, VIPs? Right? Like, it's a great investment. If you want to jump into VIP on the Zoom with us, somebody's echoing. So there, I'm going to mute there. So anyway, I recommend that you go to joinmeinvip.com if you want that. It's not something we normally offer. It is something that we're doing for the month of March right now because we're closing down the first quarter of the year, and I'm just with these people in a little bit more of an intimate environment. So if you want to jump onto that, you got the rest this week and you got next week. Go do it. Joinmeinvip.com. So Fadi, leave that just for maybe like 2 minutes, and then you can take that down. Okay. So as you're looking at your money and your money flow. So yesterday, if you guys were on yesterday's Shanda on Demand, comment like if it like, was there anything that opened up for you? Like I had a woman message me saying that through these trainings, she has 4x her business. Right now, she's been coming to Shanda on Demand. She's been coming to our challenges, and she's like, in 1 month, she 4x'd her business, right? And so what's changed for you, even just this month on Shanda on Demand? Go in that. So ascension plans, my mindset, knowing what's possible. My perspective is completely changed. Perspective is everything, right? So many things I can't even count. I grew my sales staff, somebody said, changed my entire schedule. I created an ascension plan, which we'll look at today as well. I'm now tracking my results. I have huge breakthroughs. My schedule's completely changed. I hired a salesperson, my scheduling and my tracking. That's how you grow your money, right? So let's just settle on this. A lot's changed. A lot's changed in a week and a half of people watching Shanda on Demands, right? And so I'm sharing this with you because one thing is you need to have your money have a purpose, and you need to have a list, right? You need to have a list because the people who are on my list, how many of you guys got a text message or email from me? Put text or email. If you got both, put text and email. Put text or email in the comment section so we know you got an email or a text from us. Put text or email or both, right? So that we can see. I want you to look in the comment section right now. Because it's one thing for someone like me to give you advice on growing your business. It's another to see that when we're getting 500 comments or 900 comments on a Facebook Live. And by the way, we're not just streaming on Facebook, right? So we're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook. We're in a Facebook group. We're in our clients group, right? So like our people are spread out. If I put them all on one, we'd have thousands of comments. But I give people an opportunity to watch on the platform that they prefer to watch on. You guys get what I'm saying? So I can get attendance to help people. So how many of you guys have a heart to help people? Put help in the comment section. How many of you guys have a heart to help people? Right? If you have a heart to help people, put the word help. Okay, so how are you going to help people if you can't reach them? Just hope to God they're online at the same time you are. Right? How are you going to guarantee? How are you going to guarantee that when you make an offer, people that need your offer will see it? Right? How are you going to do that? If you just grow Instagram, you just grow TikTok, you can't. But you know what? I can send out 5 emails or 4 emails in one day, and I do. Because guess what? When Elizabeth opens my email, or Nadia opens my email, or Vicky opens my email, or Kit opens my email, or Debbie opens my email, Kim, Nicole, you guys all open emails at different times. Do you know what I mean? So if I hit you at 6 a.m., who are my early birds? Put early. Who are my early birds? You guys all should love each other. Put early in the comment section, right? Who are my late birds? You sleep in, put sleep. Who are my people who like sleep? Put sleep, right? Who are my people who like sleep? Come on, call yourself. Like, let's do. So, right? So it's like, yeah, there's a few sleepers, right? That's great, super great. And so that being said, if I only send a morning email and I think you're all going to see it, then you won't. So, and if I think I'm worried about stepping on toes or being too aggressive, well, then you're broke, right? Because you forgot that you're a business. You're not worried about somebody who gets irritated at you for sending out 3. First of all, if they saw all 3 or 4 or 5 of your emails, then they have entirely too much time on their hands because they're scrolling through their emails to find it all. They have entirely too much. Send them to me. I'll kick their 2D back into work, right? And so you get it. So I want to break some of the chains off your mind. And I want to encourage you, Fadi, take off the URL, please. I want to encourage you to not only connect a lot, but I'm going to encourage you to set some intentions with your money. So I'm going to take a couple hot seats and we're going to hot seat hard money questions. And we're gonna see if we can break some chains off. You guys ready for this? Yes? Who wants to break some chains off, right? Okay, good. So let's rock this out. Nada. Nada. Let's rock this. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Okay, give me your money problem.
Okay, so I've been running my business for a long time and I just am not getting the results. And I've done some coaching in the past and we spent a lot of money on it. Now I think my husband is kind of like, okay, we've done that. Just figure it out. Like figure it out. And I think I'm finally in a season where I can 100% be all in on my business because my girls are both in high school. I was homeschooling for a long time and my mind was divided. Like it was divided. I just was never all, I felt like I was never all in.
I'm gonna correct you on that because even though they're out of that season for you, you're gonna find another reason to be divided. And I know this.
Oh yeah.
Everybody hear me when I say this. This is why we dropped the offer for Hardcore Leadership, right? For exactly this. Like, it's like, okay, so first of all, your husband's hesitation is valid, right? And if I was your sister, I was gonna say if you're my wife, but if I was your sister, then I would be worried about investing money, not because you're not capable, because I can already see your strength. Like, can you guys see her strength? Put yes if you can see her strength, because it's easy to see your strength. You are a powerful, strong woman. You look joyful. Like my experience of you is baller, joyful baller. Like you're dependable, right? And the challenge that you're facing is a leadership challenge. And the leadership challenge that you're facing is when you're prioritizing, you're either getting overwhelmed or you're not prioritizing things where you're not calendaring your day beforehand and chunking. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, you get what so I am homeschooling right now. And that is not my normal job. Right. And like, so when I just added workouts. So I got Adrian now at 7 a.m. I'll be back like to the house at like 8:15. I'll shower by 8:30. And then my hair will probably be like this every day that I work out. This is my Caribbean hair, but it's also my workout hair, right? But it's super easy to do and it can be clean, dirty, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? So I give up curling my hair. I give up blow drying my hair and give all that up on those days. And I homeschool and I got Shanda on Demand that starts at 11. So I can get in about an hour and a half of homeschooling. And then at the end of the day, I can do another couple hours. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah. Homeschooling, y'all, does not need to be done in homeschooling times.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So what is that? That's me figuring out leadership and still being able to grow an empire. And by the way, because I have that, I don't have my husband telling me what I can or can't spend money on because he's not worried because I generate. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So last night I called a woman that I found and on like in a WhatsApp group, and I asked her to come if she walks dogs. So I know for $25 an hour or $25 for 30 minutes, she'll walk our dogs. And so I said, how about make that 45 minutes? She's going to do the morning. So now I've repivoted. See, when you guys can't change your routine, money's not going to flow either. Money is connected to your leadership. It's not connected to having more space and time. It's not. It's actually being able to have things come at you and be able to pivot. Because even though you don't have your children homeschooling, you will have something else. And even though logically you know that, I'm telling you, you haven't built the muscle yet. The muscle that has your husband go, you know what? Whatever you want to do, I got you. Because I know you're going to fall through and you're not going to tell me that you're overstretched, that you don't have time, that you're overwhelmed. The minute you tell your spouses or people you're dating any of that, you are telling them that you are capped at your leadership. And it's actually not true. Mm-hmm. It's actually not true. You can figure it out and not kill yourself. You absolutely can. So you get what I'm saying? So the dog walker is going to take the dogs in the morning. So the dog walker will take the dogs for 45 minutes. The dogs will be nice and worn out, right? Now I don't have to worry about the dogs. I can take the dogs later on the evening for a family walk. Now, if I really want, if that becomes a problem, I will hire the dog walker twice a day. And if that dog walker can't walk twice a day, I'll find another dog walker. And do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just solving the problems. And so
Yeah.
when you hit recession, or when you hit credit card declines, or when you hit artificial intelligence, and this is going to be a fast moving shit, I wish you would have started your business 3 years ago. Because I don't know where I'm coaching y'all right now. I can show you how to use AI, but AI is going to take out a lot of roles over the next year, and definitely over the next 2 years. So if you give advice for a living and you don't have cash, I think you're going to be in trouble in 2 years from now. Told my team that. Might be less than 2 years from now. How many guys give advice? How many guys give advice for a living? Put advice in the comment section. Coach, teacher, doctor.
I'm a personal stylist, so in a way, yes, I have a style program, and I've had it for eight years.
Yeah, well, now
it's
I
been a
can go
while.
to ChatGPT and tell it to create, if this product fits my body, what should I buy? Right? So it doesn't mean you don't have a window, but y'all have a window. Everybody write down the word window. Okay, because y'all have a window. If you give advice for a living, I think high ticket programs are going to go away, and we'll see. I actually told my team not to repeat that yesterday because I didn't want to scare anybody. It's not my intention. But it is my intention to drive some effing urgency up in you guys. Because if you have a problem spending money on something right now, this is exactly when you should be spending money on something that's going to get you ahead. And then you need leadership to be able to close the gap. Fadi, put up our leadership URL because you guys were going to close the doors on that on Friday. I'm going to hot seat you, and I'm going to hot seat you with the mentality of putting cash underneath you, cash flow underneath you, because that's your best hope right now. What you do with that cash flow, not HCB coach, join hclnow.com. If you can get cash right now, which you can, everybody can get cash right now. You need to get cash and not spend it on dumb things. With love, you guys. I mean that with love. Okay, but what are dumb things? Do not go buy a car. Okay, like do not do stuff like that. Do not go spend it on your kids' college. That might be an aha. Why? Well, they're saying college and university is going to be out of business in 5 years. So what does that tell you? That the need for that knowledge is no longer there. What is there a need for? Join hclnow.com. There's a need for people who can. Have you guys heard people talk about artificial intelligence and it's in the prompt? Have you heard so many people say how you prompt it? That's leadership. If you guys get stuck, overwhelmed, or pulled back into your box because you're homeschooling or your spouse won't support you, I'm not just saying you, okay? So could be a million things. Like you're not working out because you've got like a newborn baby. It's like, okay, but when are you going to start? Oh, in the next, like when they start sleeping through the night, that's a problem. Does anybody identified why? Because you're taking the pressure off. If you can't work it within pressure, you can't grow. Any of you guys ever get married? Is there a little bit of a, it's like you were single, you did it all your way, and then you got married, and then it no longer your way. Or you spent your money the way you wanted to spend your money, and now you got to check in with someone. I mean, these things, it's growth, and it takes some leadership skills to be able to get onto the same page and have it work. Well, that's like money too. So with your styling program, I'm going to recommend you have an email list of 10,000 or more right now.
I have 9,000.
9,000.
Yeah. I had 11. Yeah, I had 11,000 and we pared it back because there were people that had not opened it in like 2 years.
Great. So are you communicating with them? Not right now, buddy.
Can I want something else?
Yes, you can. Such a nut. So shut the door though, okay? He's such a, sorry, I'll stay with you.
So
I really
cute.
want to tell you something just but I'm gonna stay with you. So you have a list of 9,000, that's great. So are you communicating with them at least once a day?
No. I send an email on Tuesdays and Fridays. This week I'm doing a launch because I start a boot camp on Monday. So I'm doing an email every day this week.
Okay, so I want you to do an email every day moving forward. So even if you do something like Shanda and on demand, and you do even a 10-minute or 15-minute where you drive your list to it so that you can have a content game going. Like you guys, Shanda on demand is actually developed to keep coaching our Mentor Me Live and 1% clients so that it forces me to stay in front of them. However, it also grows my platforms.
Yeah, I do YouTube videos twice a week and I do lives in my
Okay, so
Facebook group.
Send those to your list.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I do on Tuesday and Friday. When the YouTube video comes out, I send an email for it. And then I do a live on Monday morning on Facebook.
Let me help you. So I'm gonna recommend at minimum you send one a day, but the truth is anything you send in a day, if you send at 6 a.m., you could send at 10 a.m., then you could send at 5:30 or 8 p.m., same email. And then you could send, and maybe change the subject lines, and then send it again at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Go look at your open rates. My open rates are better in the middle of the night than they are during the day. Okay, so if I have an offer like joinhclnow.com, why would I not be sending out at night?
Yeah.
Do you guys get what I'm saying? So the more emails you send, there's a group, I can't remember their name, but they're in the UK, and they send out 5 to 6 emails every day, and they make an offer in every single one of them. They have no unsubscribes. Isn't that wild? I swear to you, I don't know if there's demons floating around this atmosphere that are just telling us not to play all in, like don't be pushy, don't be salesy, don't like, just like, it's like critics, you know what I mean? Versus like, listen, people want to connect. And as long as you're helping them, they'll succeed. So my stylist sells VIP days. And these VIP days, and by the way, if you're a photographer, our photographers do this too. So my stylist sells a VIP day for 15K. And with that, she might give you 6 months of filling your closet. Make sense?
Yeah.
Same with my photographers, anywhere between 7,500 and 15,000. And they also speak on stages and help, but you're not, if you position yourself as a stylist, you're dead in the water. You have to be someone like, for instance, I can't remember her slogan, but it's like, you're really like, so it's like Sarah Blakely is not a stylist, but she creates the clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she is a stylist because everything she creates, she innovates, right? To make a woman feel amazing in her body. What's your hook? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
if I were you, what are you selling on your launch?
so I have a $47 boot camp, and then I have a $397. My main program is $397.
Okay, so how
It's
many
a style program.
How many people do you get in your $47 boot camp?
Well, the last one I had 32 sales.
You had 32 people in the $47 boot camp?
Yes.
And how many of them showed up?
Probably, it was really good engagement. It was probably, I would say 20, 25 of them
Okay,
really
so half.
participated.
So half. So that's about half of them. So, or no, that's about 75% of them. So first and foremost, I would rather you do that boot camp for free. I did this for Jen Gottlieb and Chris Winfield. They sold a boot camp, and instead I flipped it all free. And then from the free, they made their offer for the next program. What is your offer for your next program?
It's $397. It's a style program. It's 8 weeks, self-paced, but there's a private Facebook group, and they get, body type and color and my feedback on everything, and they have lifetime access.
Yeah, you're broke. This is broke. Sorry, because if your husband is worried about you investing in another business coaching program or mentorship program, I'm going to tell you that this isn't doing enough business, because for this to do well, you need volume.
Yeah.
This will be a great future thing where the world's going. But if you don't make some money right now and invest it right and get some passive income going, that will feed the volume, which is ads and things like that, or SEO traffic, if you don't get your content going in SEO, leading to, let's say, a sales lead offer, which could be a $7, $9, $19 product, and then load these people up to a product that's much higher than that, you're broke. And this is about a year and a half coaching to be able to get you into all that. This is not, I would never deploy you into all that. What's priority number one? Priority number one, you've got your list, which is great. If you guys need a list, comment the word list in the comment section if you need a list. If you need a list, comment the word list in the comment section. If you don't have 10,000 or more, you should be commenting the word list, okay? And when you comment the word list, I'm gonna send you something to hook you up. So comment the word list, okay? You have a decent list. You have 9,000 people on your list. So I would still work on that. I would get it to like 20,000 this year, 25,000 this year, but I'm not panicked about you, okay? What I would like to see is for you to do a free boot camp, and then you need to sell something. If you're gonna sell $397, you should do a call with all of these people and enroll them in something like this. If you wanna keep that funnel because you know it, just get rid of the 47 because you're not getting enough people in it. Just get what I'm saying? Shoot more volume. Because at the end of the day, like if Carla comes and speaks at our events, we'll ask her to take that 15,000 down to 7,500, right? At that 7,500, she'll probably do 10 people, 75 grand. By the way, I don't ever take $1 of this either. I hook people up all the time. I hook my clients up all the time. Just because I put somebody on my stage doesn't mean I'm getting paid for it. Us doing a Grant Cardone launch, if you saw us do it at the beginning of this year, we got paid for that, right? And that was a relationship building opportunity, and it was a good move for some of our clients to do it, right? But it is very rare that I take affiliate fees from anything. Very, very rare. It's not our model. When I put somebody in front of our clients or in front of you guys on Shanda On Demand, it's because I believe that they're smart for you to listen to, whether you buy from them or not. Make sense? So she's probably doing more than you're doing on a 10-minute mention from my stage than what you're going to do from this. I don't know that for sure, but I'm probably, right? Because if you could do that, your husband's going to stop worried. He's going to stop worrying about you. Right now, we still have to deal with your leadership challenge, which is the same leadership challenge that we had with the kids and homeschooling. And like, let me just take some pressure off so I can focus on this and do a good job with the kids, which all makes logical sense, right? You guys, like, you should never, ever, you should never put your kids second. Like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if I would have been coaching you at that point, you would already have a very successful company, and there's no way I would ever not prioritize your babies and you homeschooling. There's no way. I would have pivoted the way that you were operating.
And the bottom line is there's always something that like you said, that I can be focused. Like right now, they're in high school and there's a ton every single day. There's a ton every single day. It's not like it's off my plate, or do I want it to be off my plate? Like I'm still distracted by that.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a business consultant. He helps companies sell.
Oh, so he's the exit guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be very busy. And if you guys stay around our ecosystem, we'll be calling him for things, right? Because it's like we think entrepreneurs should be building businesses and exiting. That's what he does. We're going to be teaching a lot with our client base. But my point in sharing this with you is, are you guys getting this? Now you need to focus on cash in the door. And there's not enough in the door right now that I would feel secure if you were my sister. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're worried about investing in business coaching, that tells me something. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that tells me something. I would not have you sell that boot camp. I would have you put as many people in as possible. If you're already good at that $397 offer, at least jump it to $997. And then that $997 ascends some of those guys up to a VIP package with you. Even if that VIP package is you, how many of you guys need a stylist? You know you need a stylist, right? Like, put style in the comment section. It's important to know that. Like, it's like, you need to find a group like our group, and you need to work with, we put a lot of our photographers on entrepreneurs that don't want to do weddings anymore. right? Because there's not as much money in it. They get up and they talk about, the photographers start talking about branding images, right? And the stylists don't talk about style. They talk about being confident. They talk
Yes.
about, they talk about that, but they actually have the statistics and the presentation that builds that out. Because every stylist that I've met, other than the ones that have a TV show that are doing the celebrities, right, which means they already have customer acquisition through that,
Mhm.
and that they have the influence of the celebrities, they're not making the type of income. And you need to go look at what are the jobs that artificial intelligence is taking out. Guess what one of the top jobs is? Stylists.
Mhm.
So you need to ask yourself, if it were me and you got to figure out your vision, you guys all got to figure out your vision. Don't think that my vision needs to be your vision, right? Like I really want to stand for people to think about their own visions, because God's calling you to different things. If I had your skills, I would be focusing on hooking up high ticket programs right now. And I would be taking that cash and I would be sloshing it in an account, and I'd be looking for the right deal to multiply it in, knowing that my company is not going to go that far in the future. So I'd want customer acquisition. I would find the stylist product, and I would find a affiliate product that I could sell to that list
Mhm.
on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3 that they really want, survey them. And then I would create partnerships with probably two really powerful people that can sell very, very well. They got good leadership. You guys follow me here? I know this is probably not normal coaching that y'all hear, but this is coaching that's going to change her real life. She's got an asset which she's got a 9,000 person list right now. She's selling at such a small price point that this is just not, she's not going to get the volume. If you have 30 people or 40 people that buy your $47 product, you probably have 2 in there that would buy this. That's just low hanging fruit. I would call everybody who's ever done your program. I'd call them and ask them how they're doing. And I'd be looking to pick up high level clients that either you can work with them, redo their entire closet, right? But you need to have a vision for it. Like I have a girlfriend who I just sent to our stylist a few months ago. And it's like, I was having a conversation with her and she's like, I love the way you're dressed all the time. And I said, honestly, if it wasn't for Carla, I would have been in clothes that I didn't feel powerful in. And so, and my husband tells me all the time how beautiful I look, all the time. Like he's just like, wow, you look really good in that. And it's always Carla's outfits. Do you know what I mean? So we got rid of everything in my closet. This is how I spoke to my girlfriend. We got rid of everything in my closet that I didn't feel amazing in. And Carla moves everything in. Do you know who I text when I need something? Carla. Because now, and Nada knows this, once she knows your body type, like Ted Baker fits me really well, right?
Yeah.
So she knows all the other stylists that would work with that, right? And she can pick stuff out for me and she can send it. And then we have royalty points in different places, and it's a whole game, it's a whole thing that we work off of. But she sends it to my house. I try it all on, and there's stuff I never would buy if it wasn't for Carla. There's no way. I remember looking at her going, I am never wearing that jacket. Like I feel like that is so not me. And she's like, imagine if I said that to you in business. I am never doing that strategy. And I was like, she's like, so be coachable. And so I put on the jacket, I went out, and I had like 4 compliments that day. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you. Right. And so it like changes your mood, right? It changes the way you walk, which changes the way people perceive you, which enhances your leadership, and everything's leadership. So what you put on your body actually brands you. It's a big deal. It really,
Very big deal.
It's a big deal. My husband used to wear Iron Man shirts, every Iron Man hat, Iron Man shirts. I mean, everything was Iron Man. Thanksgiving, it was Iron Man. I was like, oh my God, I got to change this. I was like, Carla, now my husband is one of the best well-dressed men, and he gets compliments by the men all the time, right? And he feels different, right? Before he was lazy, now he's not, right? And he's got a different brand, and it creates different business partnerships that never would happen if he wasn't dressed that way. Do you guys get what I'm saying? And there's always an exception to the rule. Yes, Jesse Itzler's a billionaire and they already own Spanx and they already like sold a jet company to Marquis Jets to Warren Buffett. Like his brand is to be in scrubs. That's build your life resume and do endurance races. Totally different. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I share this with you and hopefully this has blessed a few other people. If you have a company that's going to go out of business, it doesn't mean the end of the world. But it should create some level of urgency right now that you're going to do a pivot. We don't know what the pivot is because I'm not close enough to you yet to figure out what the pivot is, but there's going to be a pivot. But what you want to do is keep building that audience base, and the more specialized you can get in that list. So like all female entrepreneurs or all C-level corporate executives, like you want like female athletes, whatever. You want families, whatever it is, you want a very, very specific group of people. And
I have Christian women over 40 right now. That's my.
Great. So now there's other things that they want. And you need to keep your finger on the pulse, and you need to create some joint venture partnerships with people who already have big businesses. And you should promote them and take an affiliate partnership and look for another opportunity for the future of the company. But right now, make the cash. Set yourself a target, like make $40,000, $50,000 a month and take that cash and put it into an account. I'm not kidding you guys. It is just as easy to make 2,000 as it is to make 50,000 in a month. The difference is do you back down off pressure or do you step up and figure it out and stop saying, well, I'm not going to sacrifice my relationship with my husband or my wife. It's like, nobody asked you to. That's not even a real comment. You don't have to sacrifice your fitness. You don't have to sacrifice children. You do not have to sacrifice any of that or your relationship. You need to get better at leadership. Okay? You got it?
Yes, thank you.
All right, Chica. I hope this moment is going to change the future of your life. I really do. I hope you listen to what I say. Elizabeth.
Oh, hey, how's
Hi.
it going, Shanda?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Awesome. Okay, give me your question.
My money challenge is I don't have enough of it coming in. So it's feast or famine for me.
Do you have a list?
No,
Okay. Have you
I
done my
know
list?
that's where I need to start, is to build a list. Yes, I've done 4 of the summits and I grew my list to a whopping 180 people.
So out of that 180, what have you sold to it?
Nothing.
Okay, so you have a leadership breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay,
Still.
so you got, okay, so here's what I'm going to recommend. What did you do your summits on?
The first one was something around success, being a successful entrepreneur, how to get unstuck.
Okay, Bonnie, for some reason, something's dinging on my computer or
Yeah.
it's dinging.
We've been hearing it the whole time too.
Bonnie, can you go on my computer and figure out what's dinging? Is he on, Suzanne?
It's me. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen. There you go.
Okay. Can you undo yourself or mute yourself so that we don't hear it? Okay, so you did 4 summits and you end up with a small list. What was the topic again?
I did a couple different topics trying to find something that worked. So the first one I did was around being the successful entrepreneur. I interviewed experts on how they got started and how they broke
But
past.
the problem is not finding something that works, because the model works. The problem is did you have the number of experts you needed?
I did in the first one. Yeah, I did a 21 recorded.
Okay, so did they all male?
Probably not. I mean, I followed up with people to get them to mail.
Okay, so everybody hear me, like, this is what I'm seeing with this sweet Elizabeth, is that, and you guys are seeing it too. So when I say it, you're gonna know it, and then you need to look at yourself, because if we don't get our power back, you guys see what I'm saying? If we don't grab a hold of our power back, this is not about beating ourselves up. It's not about going, oh, you're this, you're that. No, it's about going, okay, like, you're doing the work.
Yes.
You're doing the work. The problem is you have almost no urgency. So you're like, you're in this conversation like, well, probably, and I mean this with love, you guys, I'm not trying to beat her up. I'm just trying to say, if this is the moment that changes everything for you, I will be happy. Whether she loves me or doesn't love me for this coaching, okay? So, and don't be afraid to come up, okay? So if I have to kick your ass, I'm gonna kick your ass. Just
Kick
come
my
up,
ass,
right?
Shanda, come on.
Love you up, I'm gonna love you up. But it's like, could you imagine? So, okay, so like 710 people have joined Pocket Coaching in the last 2 weeks. 166 of you have become VIPs. We have 84 people who have jumped into HCL. You don't know your numbers. Everybody, track your end of day revenue. I said this at the beginning of Shanda On Demand last week. Every day, I want you to have a piece of paper on the wall size post-it, and I want you to put end of day. And if it's zero, it's zero.
Zero.
And when you have a whole thing of zero, you're gonna have to stare at that every day. And guess what it does? It gets you out of this thing like, well, let me see if this works. If a lot of people it's worked for, it effing works.
Yes.
Okay, the problem, and you just said your first topic, the topic works, right? Like it's like that's not the problem. The problem is that either you're not connected to the experts in a way that is urgent, right? So it's like if you were my expert, I would be on your Instagram page commenting on your stuff, right? And I would be tagging you before your interview. Some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but she does. So let me just give to her right now, right? I would know that you not only have the promotional material, but if I wasn't getting registrations, I would ask the experts, did you send out and how is your open rate? And if the open rate sucked, I would rewrite a new email. Now today we have Chat GPT, where you can literally put an email in. You should write it on your own, put it in, and say, write this like Dan Kennedy, the copywriter, right? And then write it in his voice. If nothing else, these are easy prompts. All I'm doing is seeing a leadership, and I'm seeing a hole that I can close for you without having to one-on-one coach you all.
Yeah.
You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the space to do a VIP day with everyone. Otherwise, honestly, my heart would love to do it, but it's absolutely impossible. So this is leadership. I'm not stopping at my kid doesn't have a homeschool teacher and I'm the homeschool teacher. I'm not stopping at the fact that this didn't work. This will work. I bet if you took one of your old registration pages and pulled it back out and redid the video with some oomph behind it, and if you can't get some oomph behind it, then put a dynamic picture behind it. Go get Nada to style you. Go get a photographer to go take a great picture of you that's kind of like energetic, and
like you.
headline on the top, register. But we need a promotional email that matches that registration page so it connects. Somewhere it broke. And it either broke in the fact that they didn't mail, or they didn't have the list sizes, or your promotional email didn't work, or the registration page didn't convert. Those are the only 4 places that broke down. Do you guys think that we could figure out those places if we actually just started to go reverse engineer it? But you know what people do, and she's not the only one, is they sit back and go, it didn't work. Now you're a baller because you actually got up and did it again. What a lot of people do is they just say, oh, it didn't work, right? But then, you know, if you're around our community, you know that there are hundreds of people every single month that are getting financially free because of that. You know, but I can't, you gotta dial this in. So I recommend that you just hear me out here because I'm gonna move to the next person. I want you to pull out one of your old registration pages.
Okay.
And I want you to let this be easy. I want you to go get an emotional email. And I want you to go to Chat GPT and I want you to ask it to write it in Dan Kennedy's voice.
All right.
Okay. And then I want you to ask it to create you a headline. And maybe you need to reflip that headline so it's a little bit stronger, or a tagline a little bit stronger. Okay. And then I want you to go back out and I want you to get a series of experts and I want you to relaunch this thing in the next 45 days. Okay. And I want you to put a good VIP upsell page together for $47. And what could we give them for $47?
Well, what I did in the past was lifetime recordings, of course, and a consultation with me so I can look over their copy and tweak it, optimize it.
I would give them maybe a week of momentum after the training,
Okay,
a week in action after the training, something like that, right? And so for $47, after the training's over, do a 1-day summit instead of 21 day. And after we're over the next week, we're gonna do a week of action. And we're gonna implement for the week, and I'm gonna touch base with you every day for 30 minutes and help you get a certain result, whatever that is, okay?
okay,
For $47 plus lifetime access to the trainings,
okay,
called the master classes.
all right,
Okay. And so now I want you to come back and report to me the pivot. Okay. And while you're doing the 1-day summit, just like I'm doing with joinhclnow.com, I want you every 2 people to reintroduce the VIP package. Okay, got it?
yes,
You guys see what I'm saying? And so I want to build her confidence back up. And then just like with Nada, and this is a lot of advice for a lot of people, like if you can sell a 2,000, 2,500, 15,000, 10,000, I know these numbers sound a little like I'm throwing them out there, but like I have doctors right now, 2 doctors right now that are crushing it financially on $2,500 packages. Today, I flipped it up to 3,000, right? Why did I flip it up to 3,000? We got salespeople coming in now, right? We started this in mid-January for them. So like they've done mid-January, February, so they're basically 2.5 months into it. And now we're hiring salespeople. And these are 2 doctors that, you know, like they're in their practices. They don't have online businesses. Now they do. Just like proximity. Some of you guys, I'm gonna pop you off, sweetheart.
all right,
Some of you
thanks.
guys, you're welcome, sweetie. Some of you guys do really well on your own, like the doctors. But then when they wanted to go that next level, they got in closer proximity. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So don't like, just because you drag your knees on something, don't second guess yourself. You got to get back up. Like I'm in a next level financial stretch. Like we're doing, instead of doing a next mastermind, we're doing a mastermind here in Dorado Beach. Like it's a different membership. And it's $125,000. I'm used to spending $100,000 on masterminds, not 125. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we're doing 125. And then usually my masterminds are over, but then I made $150 a month on top of that. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I didn't expect that. And that just popped up yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I thought it was 80,000. And now it's 125, 850 a month. So like, I share this with you guys because that's life. Am I right? Am I alone? Am I alone on the, oops, didn't know that was coming? No, but what am I gonna do? Am I gonna back down? Heck no. Heck no. My same doctors, by the way, were about to take a date off their books and move it to another date because something was happening with one of the daughters. Maybe a kid moment, right? And I said, let me ask you a question. Why do you both have to be at that event? If one of you guys has to be handling something with a child and really cannot be there, right? And it really does work out in this moment where she actually physically cannot be there and be there for her daughter, right? And she's moving her daughter out of dorm rooms and she wasn't expecting that, right? So I share this with you because it's like, there's no way they're in proximity to me. I can't let them, if they shift that, if they pull back, we're dead this year. Do you guys get it? Like we're dead. That like the urgency won't be there. It'll kill the whole year. Some of you guys need to hear this right now. And so they knew I was gonna say that. So they come back and they're like, you're so right. Okay, we're gonna keep the date. We didn't feel good about changing the date anyway. And now there's a gap in the numbers. Let's close the gap. Let's close the gap in 14 days. Let's close the gap in attendees in 14 days. See, you know when you guys pull back is when it's not working. You know when I want to pull back? When it's not coming together, right? Instead of saying, I'm going to be the type of leader to do what it takes to make it come together. right? So those doctors are going to have a full room. I promise you that. They will do the work, but I will coach their leadership. Like, you guys all think like business coaching is just tactic. I'm giving you guys so many tactics on Shanda On Demand. You should all be millionaires. All of you guys should be millionaires. Seriously, I have given so many tactics to make millions just since last Monday. The whole month of last June, I showed you how to have $1 million year, $1 million month, $1 million weekend, $1 million day. You want to go study it. What's going to get in your way? Join HCLnow.com. That's what's going to get in your way. I'm telling you, I know it like I know it, just like my doctors, PhD doctors, smart as shit. You know what I mean? Like, while I coach them, I ask them a medical question at the same time. Like I have so much respect for these ladies. They're just about to get themselves off the hook, right? But here's the difference between high performers. I tell them what to do, and they just pivot and they do it. They don't fight me on it. They don't say I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have this. They figure it out. We've created more money. They've had their highest revenue months ever in all of their practices last month. Highest revenue months than they've ever had. Why? While they're still busy in their practices, we're pivoting the online game, which is like having a second job. And they have children. And they have patients. It's not like, be like me one-on-one coaching all day long. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have a busy life. And so, but they're fired up. Why are they fired up? Because they're having their highest revenue months. And they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. See, when we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, what do we start doing? We start making up reasons why this isn't going to come together, and we start backing down. And as we keep doing this, it goes away. End of day revenue. Are you tracking it? Are you focused on it? Where are you letting yourself off the hook? I almost let myself off the hook the other day. Literally. Like, I don't let me off the hook, but I let team off the hook. And it literally, the person I was talking to is like, I could see it in his face when I said, maybe we should move that because you're not going to hit it. And it was my way of coaching him. And he looked at me, he's like, no, I got a plan to hit it. I was like, fucking yeah. I was like, that's some good stuff right there. That gives me trust. Whether or not he hits it or not, it gives me trust. Because somebody's grabbing a hold of it and driving it to the finish line. Do you guys get that? Are you guys following me on this right now? So like, I don't break my word to my husband. I don't break my word on my marketing that I'm running, but I've had a really hard time holding the team to different standards. That's my next level leadership. That's what I'm being coached on. That's what I'm getting help from. So it's like, I don't know where you're growing. I know I'm growing, but I know that I'm not backing down. Do you guys, it doesn't matter if I lose money in the process. I have a good friend of mine that he shared it from the stage at Grant's event. His name's Joe DeSena, Spartan Races. Last summer, they couldn't make payroll. That's a $300 million company. Some of you guys are making yourself wrong right now because you feel like you're behind, you're not far enough, you're not you're not where you thought you'd be at this point in time. Am I right? You guys hear what I'm saying? Put yes in the comment section if any of this resonates with you. So it's like, but the poverty thinking thinks something's wrong with me, something's wrong with the business, the model doesn't work. Listen, if the model worked for somebody else, it probably works for you too. These are freaking excuses, and you gotta knock them out. Because if you don't knock them out, you will take them to the next plan. Do you know what I'm saying? You will take your leadership to the next plan. So I was saying to Nada, right? Like, you will take the same thinking. Leadership is not just taking action. That is a big part of it. Like, stop saying you're going to do something and not do it. It's not just taking action. It's the way that you process. Have you ever heard me say money loves speed? Put money loves speed in the comment section. Have you ever heard me say money loves speed? Right? Money loves speed. You know why? Because if you can pivot fast, you will figure it out. If you put your child on a bike and you put training wheels on the bike, it will take longer for the child to learn how to ride a bike. Why? because the freaking parent disabled the child. Now, you might not like me saying that, but I'm telling you, your child was very, very capable of riding a bike without training wheels. If you would have just intimately got there with them and let either mommy or daddy or uncle or whoever coach the child. Do you guys get what I'm saying? We are in the habit of taking the pressure off. And if you take the pressure off, and some of you guys are like me, where you hold yourself to a high standard, but you're holding all the weight on your back because you're the one that goes and solves the problem. I know you. I am recovered from that. Now, I'm recovered from that. That was many, many years of my life, right? But before that, I was the one that the rug always got pulled out from underneath. Every time I tried something, it never came together. The rug always got pulled out from underneath my life. I remember the moment that I realized that my leadership was the reason that was happening. I know exactly where I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, sitting in the corner of an office. I shut the drapes. I got down on my hands and I put my elbows in my knees and I started to cry. I wasn't crying from sadness. I was crying from relief. Because I spent so many years trying to figure out, why does the rug keep getting pulled out from underneath me? And the problem was my leadership constantly blocked it. And when I released some control, I skyrocketed and I started doing what it took to follow through. When things weren't coming together, I switched, pivoted, and I literally worked it all the way together. I just kept thinking about what if it was going to come together, if it was going to come together, and then it came together. I did our leadership program before I owned it and did over $170 million in sales in 15 months. That's wild to me. Wild to me. I have not been able to replicate that yet. But guess where the gap is? Leadership inside my company. Until now, I've not had the team that I could run with that played at the same standard that I played at. And that's not a dig on my team. Because guess who picked the team? You guys ever been in a relationship too long? Good person, but not the person you want to marry, right? Like, it doesn't mean the person's an awful person. It just means that there's things that you're willing to tolerate because they're blind spots. You guys, any of this making sense to some of you guys? So after I got into the driver's seat of my life and I realized, oh my gosh, I can actually hold myself to this standard. Money can be easy to make. I can live wherever I want to live in the world. There's no house, there's no car, there's no anything that I can't buy, right? I can walk and pay cash for this, pay cash for that. I built, I'm not trying to brag or boast. I want to show you the progression. I started making cash, pulling cash off the table and putting it in a slush account. Any of you guys paying yourself first yet? Or are you still paying credit cards before yourself? Bad move. Bad move. Always pull cash off the table. Always pull cash off the table. Not if you do what I told you to do, take that cash, put it into an account, slush it in. I don't mean to hoard it forever. I mean, get confident with building it. There's something that changes in our confidence when we have a bunch of cash sitting in an account. Something changed in my life when that cash moved out of my account, right? Not because I went broke, but because I deployed it. If any of you guys ever heard my friend Dan Fleischman talk about money, he's brilliant at it. Money comes in, gets out. Money comes in, get it out. Why? Because it creates hunger. Some of you guys are in the hunger mode because you're not filled with cash and you somehow are not comfortable with that feeling yet. And you're making yourself wrong. Who am I talking to right now? Put me in the comment section. You think it's wrong to feel that way. You just haven't gotten comfortable with the money being low in the bank account. That's a good thing. If you stop being obsessed with the fear and the worry, you would start to win. Because what you do is you step up to that. Now, pressure starts to acclimate in a way where you start to feel peace in it. That means you're playing too small. That means you're playing too small. And the minute you try and plug that pressure and pull back, and you guys, I want everybody to do this for homework tonight. Ask yourself where you're pulling back. Where are you trying to make it easier for yourself? Where are you trying to take the pressure off? I want you to be able to stand in whatever it is for you and just regulate your mind. Don't step back in the activity. Write this down. Don't step back in the activity. So where are you taking the pressure off? And then write a note. Do not step back in my actions or activity. Don't take the pressure off. Where can you go in your mind to be in that fire and still be moving forward? When you can master that in your leadership, the game changes. It completely changes. Now, when you have an ecosystem of people in your life that don't think like that, you got to start training them on that. And the way that you train them is not telling them what to do, it's how you show up. So when Nada brings in $75,000, her husband will change his tune with her. When she does it twice, he will start goal setting with her in a different way, right? Because now there's a different asset in the game. Do you get what I'm saying? Now we're playing an entirely different game called our life. There are doors that open when finances get rich. There are doors that open when finances get rich. You stop thinking about, oh, I have to live in this city. Oh, I have to live right next door to my parents. And that's not a dig on you guys who love family, because I'm like obsessed with my mom. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm very, very, very close with my family. I would live 2 doors from them if I could, and I'm in the process of making that happen. Right? We're moving my mom to Puerto Rico. We cannot move my dad to Puerto Rico because my dad's on an oxygen machine, right? But we have a place in California as well. So we go back and forth. Do you see what I'm saying? But if I was attached to cleaning the car, and putting gas in the car, and having to be like living right next door to my dad or my mom, I never would have left Canada. I wouldn't be here speaking to you today. There's absolutely no way that I'd be the mother or the wife that I am today if I was that attached little girl as an adult. So there is nothing that can't be solved. There is no problem that cannot be changed. I know you know that intuitively, but the question is, does your life represent that truth? Or are you saying that and demonstrating something totally different to your children, your nephews, your nieces, your parents, and your spouses that treat you exactly how you've showed up? So as we come to an end of Shanda on Demand today, tomorrow I'm going to show you how to make offers with urgency that move the cart. Okay, so how many guys need that? Put a C in the comment section if you need to know how to deliver content, make offers that move the cart. Okay, so put a C in the comment section if you need that. So that's the curriculum for tomorrow. So you'll get a pocket coaching in an email tomorrow. I want you to listen to my pocket coaching. I want you to see, if you're not on our email list, you're not going to get it. But if you're just watching on social, that's the disadvantage of just being on social, is I cannot regulate connecting with you, right? It's connected to the algorithms. That's why social is my second favorite thing. Email and text is my first. Okay, got it? Yes? So tonight I want you to, or today or tonight, whatever time zone, I want you to look at, where are you reducing the pressure? Where are you reducing the pressure? And ask yourself, if I didn't pull back on my activity, where would I need to go in my mind to be able to keep walking forward? So I go, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And you've got to be okay with that. If you can get okay with that in your mind and just come to peace with it, then you can move in the fire. And that will, you guys, it's probably one of the most important things I can say to you ever all year, because with such a changing climate in the world, I'm going to tell you, our leadership program, it's already exploded, but it's the most important thing that you could do, even over above anything that I've ever offered you. Because any strategy I give you in business, if you can't take action and follow through, if you can't land your communication with your spouse, or you can't land your communication with a heart, if you've got somebody in your life that triggers the F out of you, and you should be in our leadership program. Because you know what that tells me? Is that you got a problem with selling. You got a problem with getting out of your own way. You got a problem with regulating your emotions. How are you going to stand in the fire? Because those emotions, that somebody can trigger that, I'm telling you, pressure will trigger that. Because they say something or do something to create, like it gets under your skin. That's pressure. So you've got to be able to regulate that. If you piss me off, excuse my language, if you piss me off, you'll get fire for a second and I will regulate as quick as it comes up. Why will I do that? Because I am not giving you my power. The minute I do that, I can say something, do something, whatever, that takes me completely out of my integrity. And I'm not going to let my character go there. That's why we become a trusted source. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why my husband can see hard moments coming down the pipeline, and he'll sit and look at me, and it's like we're sitting on the back of a yacht in the south of France. I'm like, hello, a little bit of light. He's like, there's no worry. Because he absolutely knows who I am. and what I'm capable of. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So again, I'm not trying to brag or boast. This is not normally how I talk on live. I'm trying to say this is the benefits of leadership. I have to ask my husband for a hug if I'm feeling stressed out because it doesn't show up. And it's not because I'm being superwoman. It's because I regulate pretty easily. And it's become that way. So now I'm able to create any target and go after it. So I love you guys. I adore you guys, VIP. I'm going to jump with you guys in 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you, we're going to shut down this offer. We're closing down the Hardcore Leadership offer. As of the other day, I gave an opportunity for me to train you on your list building. If you jump into joinhclnow.com now, then I will also train you on your list building. I'll show you how to find more customers or clients than you need. I'll show you how to stack your offers. I'll show you how to monetize your talents, and I'll pivot you in some of the AI stuff. Like I said with Nada, I don't think her strategy is a smart strategy, but it's a strategy she knows. I can take that, pivot it a little bit, but in Join HCL Now, we'll gift you our list building program. I can actually show you how to start doing some of this stuff with AI because I've got you for 3 full days, virtually for full 3 days, but I got you for full 3 days. So just in case anybody doesn't know what HCL is, can you guys give me 2 seconds to share it real quick? So if anybody's like, what is this? HCL is Hardcore Leadership. It's a 3-day vision workshop all through Zoom. They're full days. You cannot work during those days. We have one almost every month. They sell out all the time. We have our best coaching staff that is training the next HCL. So if you actually purchased HCL, there's no way we can fit everybody who purchased in the last 2.5 weeks in the next training. So if there's space in the next training, you get in the next training, you should go in the next training, because we have the best staff we've ever had in 3 years in the next training. Trust me, proximity to people who operate at the level that they're operating in makes a huge difference when they're coaching you. However, we have a 99% success rate. So write down right now, what would be the goal that you'd want before the summer? Write that down on a piece of paper. What would be the goal that you'd want before the summer? That should be your target in this training. That should be your target in this training. So 3 days in vision is where if you get stuck, you have a vision problem. You're like, how do I figure out how to get through this? Nada. How do I homeschool and be a baller and build this empire, right? It's like, I'm just having fun with her, but it's like literally, it's like, this is real stuff. Am I right or am I right? When we get stuck in a moment, it's really tough because we have been raised by our parents or raised by foster parents or raised by adults, and we have their mindset, we have their processing. And to break through that, that's vision. And I'm telling you, you will not go all in on pure willpower. You need to catch a vision that you are like locked into, and you believe, you can see it so clearly that you believe that 100% that is not only possible, but it is probable for you. That's vision. That's vision. And it doesn't matter if you're homeless right now, if you're going through divorce, dealing with cancer, or you're just getting married, or you got kids, empty nesting, right? Like whatever you're going through in life, where you get stuck or where you start to flounder is a break in vision. And vision, you can go, look at all these people who go from nothing to $1 million in a year. That's vision. The only difference between the highest success entrepreneurial companies out there, the visionary. And everybody thinks the visionary is nuts. They think it's absolutely impossible you can create those results. And the visionary's job is to get the team on the playing field so that they believe they can see what they see so that they can hit it. Do you get what I'm saying? When the whole team, when you, the whole team, the family, all see the vision you see, that's called landing your communication. So first you got vision, then you have to have the courage to go after it. That's breakthrough. This unleashes you from all the shit that's stopping you, all of it. No more getting in your own way. That's 4 days. Then you move into practice. This is where you learn how to style flex, and it's 3 months. So this is like 3 days, a week and a half later, you go into breakthrough, and then you've got 3 months in here. This is your goal. So the thing I asked you to write down on the piece of paper, if you could create what result by the summer, what would that be? That's what you should put in there. And believe it or not, it's like people have been like, I'm not dating, I want to meet my husband, or I want to meet my wife. Boom, they do it. It's wild what happens when you have a group of people running towards that goal with you, right? You're unleashed. You see the vision. You're totally broken through on your ability to go and create it and to take action around it. No more procrastinating. No more I don't follow through. No more hesitation that I did something and didn't get the result. That's leadership. We need to get the results. Like, enough already. How old do you want to be before you finally freaking will have the integrity of your word? You hear what I'm saying? Like, if you say you're going to create a result, you sign up for a product program, you should darn well create that result. If you don't, you have an integrity breakdown. And why are you okay with that? You want to not be okay with that. JoinHCLNow.com can completely change that for you starting now. It's amazing when you go to the URL, sign up. It's amazing. You guys know this, right? It's like the minute you commit, it's like this space opens up around your life. So practice is where I want you to put your biggest goal, and we coach you for 90 days on how to create that. And we create it. This isn't a, maybe you're going to create it. You cannot graduate the program unless you create it. You can't even graduate the program unless you create it. So it's powerful. We put the perfect amount of pressure around you, and you have an army of people, not only the students, but also the staff that's getting behind you and creating that result. So if you want to come join us in there, you go to joinhclnow.com. Go there right now. I will add in our list building program. April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'm going to train the list building program. I'll add that in. I'll train you, come that workshop. I'll give you the home study program with it so that you can have lifetime access to that. I'll also give you a ticket to next week. I'm going to do a full day, myself, my husband, Steven, we're going to do a full day where we're going to do ascension plans, which is what should you work on over the next 12 to 24 months? Lock onto that. Like, not I just gave you a pinch. You know what I mean? And only because, not because I'm not trying to, it's just because if I can spend, you know, a good 10, 15 minutes with you, I can actually lay out a plan that you can ascend up through and just rest your mind. I'd be working on cash injections for you because it's really important that you've got great cash coming into your households right now, because you want to take that cash, you want to put it into an investment account and look to how do I multiply that, right? And of course, there's all these, well, I don't know what to invest it in. There's all these moments of leadership that we have to make these decisions, but you want to be prepared that you can make those decisions. This is why I tell people right now is not the time to take a break. I say this constantly. I've been saying this on Pocket Coaching, been saying this on Instagram lives. This is not the time to take the pressure off. This is not the time to do that. That is a very bad move right now. This is the time to belly up your cash. And if you have a bunch of cash, get more. I can't remember who said this, but it's like, it's wild when people think like, you know, even $1 million is not a lot of money. It goes by really, really fast, and it can be spent very, very quickly, right? And so I know that's kind of maybe a bad example for people who haven't hit 1 million, but I can tell you, my friends and my clients who have hit 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, it really doesn't start to get abundant until you're between the 3 and 5 million mark. And that's when it starts to get like some huge levels of freedom. And the wild thing is that there's people that are watching me right now that if you just got your leadership right, you could hit that. And you know it. And so the question is how much longer are you going to wait and try and do trial and error? Trial and error was the advice of the middle class. And the middle class is never free. And the middle class is going away. And I don't know how many times I have to say this. And then I still see people making very, very bad decisions about taking a break, building their business when they've got more space, right? Or you make up the story. If you're not going all in right now, you need to go all in right now. If you haven't done leadership, you need to go to joinhclnow.com. If you've done leadership, you should be looking about who in your space needs to be in that program. We got it discounted at 52% right now. There's a payment plan if you need one, but it's discounted at 52% right now on joinhclnow.com. And by the way, you guys should be doing lives like this and making offers for your products and services. This is leadership. You should be there's always people who want to buy from you. But if you're too exhausted to do the content, or too stuck on like, how do I get the messaging right? Your perfectionism is not your problem. It's actually taking action. It's the action that's the problem. It's the decision making. If money loves speed, it's because money loves you making a decision. If you don't make decisions fast, I can show you an empty bank account. I'll show you an empty bank account. Somebody who takes a long time to process, I'll show you an empty bank account. You guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? So let me end on this. Look for the area of your life that you need, or that you are backing off. You're reducing the pressure. And I'm going to encourage you, whether you jump into HCL or not, I'm going to encourage you to step up through that. If you want our help, go to joinhclnow.com. And I didn't think I finished this sentence. If you've done HCL, it is important for you to have people in your ecosystem that have done HCL. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if my husband did not operate in leadership, I could style flex with him and land, but do you think our speed's going to be as quick? No, because I'm going to have to be processing with him. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's in those leadership rooms all the time because it's his division, and he comes out a better man every single time. I mean, I almost don't have to do the work anymore because he just keeps coming out a better man every single time, which is great. But I just encourage you, you hear us say proximity is everything, which means who you spend your time with matters. And if you're with limited thinkers all the time, I'm telling you, it's challenging. Now, you might have a relationship that will not go in with you. Just know that when they see you change, they will change. So don't be attached to them having to do it with you. Just get your rear in the door and do it. You know, if you got somebody who's afraid to let you go in the door, then I would go and I'd have a conversation about, I need you to support me. I need you to just give me this one time. I need you to, and they're like, I've already given you one time. Okay, what is it going to take? What do you need to hear from me? What do I need to do? Like, you know, you've got to find a way. There's no guarantees in life, but you've got to find a way to give them some sort of certainty or some sort of payoff to support you. You got to do whatever it takes, because here's what I know for sure. If it's money you need, put it in practice. If it's relationship healing you need, put it in practice. If it's both, you can put them both in practice, but you can only pick one. We'll coach you on all your goals, but you can only pick one. And it needs to be really big. Like you get what I'm saying? Like, we got to stretch you, because when you come out of HCL, the bigger you play, you're not coming back down here. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to play realistic. We want to play like, I've never made $100,000. Let me see if I can make it in 4 months. Let's go, baby. You know what I mean? Like let's play where it's uncomfortable, because you will never have another moment in your life. I'm pretty confident about this. You will never have another moment in your life that you have this many people. Do you know how much staff is in here? A shitload. It's got my most hands-on program in this entire company. It takes a freaking army to run this program. As soon as you go to joinhclnow.com, somebody's going to contact you. You're going to have a prep call. They're going to go through a full prep call with you. They're going to make sure that your vision is strong. So if you're a little uncertain right now, they're going to make sure that you're on point. And so, you know, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I must have in my life that I've been giving up. And the cost I've been paying has been too much. And I want that. And they're going to see how my energy changed? They're going to get you to that point where you're like, get out of the way. I got to do this. And when you lock into that, I can feel that all the way through my legs. When you lock into that, and then we can get you to be able to regulate into that whenever you need to power up, then I'm telling you, your life is whatever it is that you want to make it. And I hope that you play super, super big in this program. And I hope that you enroll the people in your life so you can build the proximity. Almost everybody in my life has done this training, finally, including my mother and my father, which is incredible. My father's girlfriend said to me, out of 10 years of being with your father, 11 years of being with your father, I've never had the depth in conversations with him as I do now because of HCL. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to jump over to you guys on VIP, and I hope that you just prioritize yourself and you jump into it, because we're about to close this offer. All right, you guys, I'll see you.